All right, I want to talk to you guys today about how to win in conflict with your wife every single time. Wink, wink. All right, husbands, let's be honest. We married our wives not to be our female roommates or our female poker buddies. We married her to partner in building a deep friendship and a thriving family. And there are two things that a thriving family needs in that partnership, and that is collaboration, being on the same page, and conflict. You know what? To get better means you gotta battle it out sometimes. All right, let's face it, no couple is perfect at conflict, but some couples, man, they're really, really bad at it. Some husbands and wives, they don't fight at all. And they just walk around like everything's fine, everything's great, when everything is not fine. It just means nobody's talking about how really bad it is. On the other side, there's the couples who fight over everything and anything, and it's a knockdown, drag out. It's a fight to the death. No, to the pain. Random movie reference. Look that up. All right, men, I have broken this conflict talk into 3 rounds. Look for rounds 2 and 3 in later videos. Let's start with round 1 and how you win at conflict with your wife every single time. Wink, wink. Here it is. Listen without defensiveness. What does listen mean? It just simply means to pay attention to someone. And so pay attention to your wife and pay attention to what she is saying to you instead of letting that little lawyer in your brain come out and start defending you from everything that she's saying. Well, you don't have the details right, and I didn't mean it like that, and I didn't say it like that, and you fill in the blank. All of a sudden, that inner Johnny Cochran comes out in our mind, and we start to defend ourselves, and everything goes south from there. We fight, we flight, or we freeze instead of just receive. Anytime we hear our wives say something negative or slightly critical of us, there's our male ego that just wants to be offended by it. It's like this assault on our character or our competency as a man. But that's not true. That is just a lie that we believe. That woman is there to help us. Just because she's not being your cheerleader in that moment doesn't mean that she is your opponent. She is on your team. She signed up to be on your team and to help you build a winning team. Think of her like an assistant coach. An assistant coach's role is to help the head coach know how to win the game and to define reality on why we're losing the game. And so when the conflict arises, when you're not winning, when you're losing, if you will, who would you rather have on your team at the time? Would you rather have a bunch of cheerleaders saying how awesome you are when you're not? Or would you rather have an assistant coach say, hey, here's some things we can do to get better, and it starts with you? Back to listening. Even if you think that she is absolutely wrong and completely ridiculous and out of her mind, just let her talk. Just pay attention to what she's saying and let her finish. She may just be verbalizing. She may just be processing things and venting. And at the end, guys, it may have nothing to do with you. It may have to do with something completely different. That's why it's so important. Now, a lot of guys think that they understand this listen without defensiveness thing, but then all of a sudden the conflict happens and the stress rises and self-control goes out the window. So I want to give you 3 steps that you can take in order to win at this conflict thing every single time with your wife. Wink, wink. Number 1, keep your mouth shut. Yes. If you're going to listen without defensiveness, you have to understand that just like it is impossible to swallow and breathe at the same time without choking, it is impossible for you to listen and talk at the same time. Think of it like this. Make it a competition. Every time the lawyer in you wants to say something to defend yourself, when you think your wife has said something absolutely ridiculous, stop, capture that thought like a football, and see yourself in the end zone catching the Super Bowl winning pass. And spike that thought because you didn't say it. Keep your mouth shut. Number 2, open your eyes. Keep your eyes open. And this is both literal and mental wisdom. When you focus in and make eye contact with your wife when she's speaking to you, then it shows her that you're paying attention. Also, it helps you process some of the words that are coming out of her mouth. And you start to go, not only are my eyes open, but my mind is open to what she's saying. All right, number 3, guys, and this is the most critical one. Everything else depends upon this. Posture yourself humbly. Posture yourself humbly. Man, we've got to realize that humility, first of all, is a choice. But number 2, it is not weakness. It is not inferiority. It just simply means that we are making a choice to make ourselves less to make someone else more. In this case, our wife, we are saying, I value you as a woman. I value you as my wife over my own ego. And I'm telling you what, guys, if we choose this posture in our heart, our minds, our soul, and our body, her intuition, her spidey senses will start picking up on it. And something will start happening. All that frustration that she's feeling at the time and she's trying to verbalize, it'll start to go down and she will open her heart like a blossoming flower to you to eventually hear you out. We got to ask ourselves a question and we've got to answer it. It's a question that I've been asked many times. Do I want to be right all the time, or do I want to be married for a lifetime? It's a question we got to ask ourselves, guys. Listen without defensiveness if you want to win every time in conflict with your wife. Look for rounds 2 and 3 in coming videos. Until then, bring more heaven to earth.